Now, most people who are familiar with the Mayan calendar have heard about the Tzolk'in calendar. That's the 260-day astrological calendar of the Maya. And that is one part of the Mayan calendar system. The other part of the sacred calendar system was called the Tune calendar, which was a 360-day calendar. And the research that I'm uncovering now about past occurrences and the turning of this 360-day calendar point up some very interesting results, early results. I haven't finished the results, but I have some preliminary findings. Now, this 360-day cycle, it changes from like 12 o'clock noon to 3 o'clock every 90 days. Excuse me, every 45 days. And it goes from 12 to 6 every 90 days. And there seems to be a pattern here of our interaction, of America's interaction with Afghanistan, and then the UN, and then Iraq, and now we have April 28th coming up, which would be 9 o'clock on this clock face. And we have the Korean situation broiling.
Yes.
So these points shown by the Mayan calendar have, within a day or two of these points, major events have happened. So we're on a very strong track of being able to predict within even 15 days what kinds of shifts or change in consciousness will bring about some sorts of events. We can look back into the past. In fact, what we're doing right now correlates very, very closely to Hitler and his acquisitions of the Rhineland and of Austria. We took Afghanistan and then we took Iraq. I mean, it's
now we're looking at Syria, then Iran, then Korea. Where's it end?
Well, after Austria, it was Poland, and the war was on. That's what was happening.
The world was on to the game?
The war was on.
Oh, the war was on. Okay.
Yes, when he declared war on Poland,
yes.
And shortly, the next day, Britain and France, the war was on. And we're following that exact track, except that we're doing it much, much faster than happened previously in history.
And that certainly is consistent with the Mayan calendar.
It certainly is. Yes, it is. That's what I've been researching just recently, and we're going to continue this research. And we'll bring this forward at our website, which, by the way, to remind people,
yes,
MayanMagics.com. That's MayanMajix.com. And there's a message board there where it's very active, and there's also the article section, and then there's beautiful pictures of the Mayan ruins that you go and take a virtual tour.
Yes, folks, I encourage you to do that. Let me repeat that. The website is www.mayanmagix. Now, let me spell it. That's MayanMajix.com. And you will get a wealth of information. And I received the Mayan calendar conversion code, and I requested the one that folds up, kind of like a menu. It's laminated, and it really kind of helps explain some things. You may be interested in that, folks.
Well, as a matter of fact, can we talk about that just a minute? Because lots of people everywhere ask me over and over again, what can I do to prepare for this?
Correct.
What can be done? And I'm going to give everybody the answer that I give all the time, the same answer. There is a basic law in the universe that what you pay attention to, you become conscious of. And this goes from the bottom to the top. anytime you pay attention to something, you become more conscious of that thing. So, the Mayan calendar, as is now proven out, has been the meter of the flow of creation. So if you are paying attention day by day to the unfolding of creation, then what are you conscious of? You're conscious of that flow. And that flow is the source of your intuition. It has always been so. Every time you've tapped into the flow of creation, you have been in your intuition, and you felt the difference. That's what we're talking about, but it's a tried and true and proven method that works for absolutely everyone. By paying attention to what the energy of the day is, what the intention of creation is today, you ignite your intuition. And your intuition is going to be your life preserver through all of these shifts and changes. So that little piece of paper that's folded up, all the Mayan information about the number of the day and the aspect of creation of that day, is really important. And I beseech people to give it a try. It costs $15.
That's,
you know?
Exactly, folks. I would agree. Ian, we are once again out of time. That's a good place to end it. I want to thank you once again, not only for being on the show and helping explain, at least through the eyes of a Mayan scholar, in that of Mayan philosophy, Mayan prophecy, and the Mayan calendar. And I want to thank you personally for helping me get back on track. I guess what happened is I lost sight of the bigger picture, and I instead of expanding, I was contracting and holding on just a little too tight. So thank you for loosening me up tonight.
You're so welcome, and thank you everyone out there who is listening. Thank you. We're all in this together, and we love you.
Thank you, Ian. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. All right, Ian Lungold, folks. That's MayanMatrix.com. Go check it out. We have a direct link to the site on our website on the front page. This Friday, day after tomorrow, my guest will be Alex Standish. He is the editor of Jane's Intelligence Digest, folks, and this is about as strong and powerful as you can get. And this is no pun intended here. This is a very serious statement. Truly, our CIA, our NSA, our Secret Service goes to this site to get information. And that is the truth. I'm going to ask Alex some very direct questions about what is going on here. You would not believe how edited our news is here in the United States. Having lived overseas, folks, believe me, and I was in Saudi Arabia, as you know, during the 91-93 Gulf War, and I've traveled the world over. I promise you, the news that other countries, outside countries, receive are much different and in greater detail than we receive here. Now, I'm going to ask Alex Standish some very serious and direct questions about just what is going on with the Bush regime, with the invasion of Iraq, this so-called liberation as opposed to possession. I'm going to ask him about SARS. I've got a lot of questions. I'm going to ask him about the true threat of North Korea, and maybe some things that we haven't even addressed yet. So you don't want to miss that. That's April 25th. Alex Standish, right here on the Earth Changes TV radio hour, 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific. April 30th, that's Wednesday, next Wednesday, Zachariah Sitchin author of The 12th Planet, Genesis Revisited, many